Should you get your MCSA in Windows Server, or should you go straight for the Azure Administrator Certification exam? I get asked this all the time. This happens all the time in Slack. This happens all the time in Reddit. And there's not a really wrong or right answer there. The first thing that I would ask is, what's hiring in your job market? If you're in a small town that's not really adopting cloud technologies yet, yeah, you could make the argument there's a chance that you could be an innovator in your region. But it's also going to be hard to find a job that will let you do that. You're going to want to get a job as a systems administrator or a systems engineer first, and you're going to want to need to know technologies on the Windows Server side of things. In fact, let's just backtrack a little bit. These tools, Azure and Windows Server, are not really competitors to each other. Azure is in an environment where you can spin up Windows Server, and sure, there is a section of Windows Server with Hyper-V where you're devoted to spinning up environments of your own. But the entire Windows Server certification track is 3 really huge and really challenging exams to make up the MCSA, and then of course there's an upgrade to get the MCSE. Whereas Azure, well, there's kind of 3 separate tracks that you can go down. There's the Azure Administrator exam, that's the AZ-103, and that is for, well, administration, spinning up virtual machines, defining networks and controlling security, storage policies, and implementing things like that. Whereas the AZ-203 is the Azure Developer exam. If you're actually developing applications, you want to develop them with Azure in mind, and you'll learn how to use all of the different application services within Azure. All of the platform as a service offerings really come into play in the AZ-203 exam when you're developing an app that's going to leverage the serverless code and the serverless functionalities and platform as a service. Then the AZ-300 and 301 exam, the architect exams, they combine the administrator and the developer exam, because that really is truly what it means to be a cloud architect. You know how to take a project from one end to the other, and you know the full suite of Azure offerings if you go through the 103 and the 203 to get to the 300. That way, when a solution needs to come up, you know the best way, the best solution at hand to deploy a new application or write new code, and how to integrate all of the administration into it. Whereas the MCSA, it's how to operate Windows Server. If you go through the MCSA, you will know all of the guts to storage, networking, identity and access roles, all of the systems administration, all of the systems engineering things that you'll learn in the MCSA. So they're really not the same thing at all. They are complementary. Typically what I tell people is it really depends on where you are in your career, on top of where the jobs are in your region, or if you're willing to move. If you already have a decent handle on Windows Server, you've been a systems administrator or a systems engineer for a while, definitely go after Azure. Obviously, the world is moving towards cloud first. The world is moving towards Azure. But if you're kind of new to IT, if you know a little bit about Windows Server, maybe you're a systems administrator with only 1 or 2 years of experience, definitely go into Windows Server, because it is a huge, huge tool to learn. And when you go through those certification exams, those are really going to beef up your career. So that way, when you get to Azure, because you can go straight into Azure once you're done with MCSA, and you probably should, then you'll be spinning up Windows Server environments in the cloud, and you'll know how to not only manipulate the cloud, but also the Windows Server environments that you're going to be managing that are running in Azure. So really, again, like everything in IT, the answer is it depends. But I would say be honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to be. Maybe you want to go straight into Azure right now, but you should probably start with MCSA first. Or maybe MCSA is going to be a huge waste of time for you because you're already pretty skilled in it and you need to get up to speed in Azure. If you have any other questions, hit me up in the comments, and as always, I really appreciate it when you hit that little subscribe button right there. It goes a long way for content creators on YouTube, and it really helps us grow our channel and unlock new features so that we can give you better stuff in the future. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.